Hi everyone, I'm Phil from Rare Real Photos, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving headfirst into a world where fact blurs with fiction, and the seemingly impossible stares back at us from a single frame. Forget everything you thought you knew about history and reality, because we're about to unveil some of the most mysterious and rarely seen photographs from both the distant past and the perplexing present. From images that defy logical explanation, to snapshots that capture moments almost too strange to be real. Get ready to have your perceptions challenged and your curiosity ignited. So you know the drill. Grab a drink, sit back, and let's get right into it. Photo taken circa 1960s, a samurai was a member of the powerful military caste in feudal Japan, serving as aristocratic warriors who adhered to a strict code of honor known as Bushido. A female samurai, or Onna Bugeisha, were trained in martial arts and weapon use, including the naginata, a polearm with a curved blade, which became a symbolic weapon associated with them. They were expected to be proficient in combat, not just for sport, but to protect their households, families, and honor, especially in times of war. Photo taken in 1901. The Sword of Gujian, discovered in 1965 and dating back to 771 to 403 BC, represents ancient Chinese metallurgical skill and cultural legacy. The Gladius Hispaniensis, a 3rd century BCE Roman sword, was a short, effective weapon crucial to Roman military success and a precursor to the iconic Roman gladius. Dating to around 1600 BCE, the Mycenaean bronze sword is a premier example of early European sword craftsmanship, used in both warfare and as a status symbol. The ceremonial sword of Ur, a 2600 BCE bronze and gold artifact with lapis lazuli, showcases early Mesopotamian metalworking and the symbolic use of weaponry. The 1200 BCE Bronze Age sword of Yinshu, found in Anyang, China, showcases the Shang dynasty's advanced bronze metallurgy and elite weaponry. 1323 BCE, Tutankhamun's meteoritic iron sword, a gold-hilted weapon found in his tomb, symbolizes the power and opulence of ancient Egyptian royalty. The 5,000-year-old Arslan Tepe sword, a bronze weapon found in Turkey, reveals early Anatolian metalworking and Bronze Age warfare techniques. The Ulu knife, a crescent-shaped tool dating back to 3000 BCE, represents a vital adaptation for Arctic people, used for skinning animals and surviving in harsh environments. The 1700 BCE Phaistos disc, a Cretan clay artifact with undeciphered spiral symbols, remains a Minoan mystery. The $10 million Ebla tablets, 2500 BCE cuneiform text from Syria, significantly expanded our knowledge of ancient Semitic languages and Near Eastern life. The 13th century Codex Gigas, or Devil's Bible, is a massive devil-illustrated manuscript combining biblical and historical texts shrouded in legend. Discovered near Qumran and dating to 50-100 CE, the Copper Scroll, a unique metal scroll among the Dead Sea Scrolls, tantalizingly details a vast hidden treasure of gold and silver. Dating back to 1550 BCE, the Egyptian Book of the Dead is a collection of funerary texts and spells written on papyrus to guide the deceased through the afterlife and provide insight into ancient Egyptian religious beliefs. The Gutenberg Bible, printed in the 1450s by Johannes Gutenberg, is one of the earliest major books produced using movable type printing technology. The 16th century Codex Mendoza, commissioned by a Spanish viceroy, documents Aztec life and history for King Charles V. Written between 1506 and 1510, Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester is a scientific notebook filled with his observations on various subjects, notable for its mirror writing and sketches, and was famously acquired by Bill Gates for $30.8 million. William the Conqueror's 1086 Domesday Book, a detailed survey of England's land and resources, remains a crucial historical record of medieval English society and economy. The Codex Sinaiticus, a 4th century Greek manuscript of the Christian Bible found in Egypt, is one of the oldest and most complete, vital for biblical study. The Beowulf manuscript, the sole surviving Old English epic, offers a crucial window into early medieval English literature and culture. The Bayeux Tapestry, an 11th century embroidered cloth almost 70 meters long, vividly depicts the Norman conquest of England. The 1976 discovery of Fu Hao's tomb in China, filled with bronze, jade, and weapons, illuminated the Shang Dynasty's society and Fu Hao's powerful role as a military leader and priestess. The Topkapi Palace Museum displays Muhammad's letter to the Egyptian ruler, the Muqawqis, with the original document and its transcription side by side. James Naismith's original 13 basketball rules, created 119 years ago, sold for over $4 million to benefit his foundation. An 1857 document detailing early baseball rules, authored by Daniel Lucius Doc Adams, sold for $3.26 million. An original Dunlap broadside copy of the Declaration of Independence, printed on July 4, 1776, is a priceless artifact that has sold for over $2 million, symbolizing the birth and ideals of the United States. The Peutinger Table, a 4th century CE Roman roadmap, is a unique 6.75 meter document detailing the Roman Empire's vast infrastructure. The Hereford Mappa Mundi, created around 1300 CE, is the largest intact medieval map, uniquely blending geography with religious and mythical symbolism. The Kangnido map, created in Korea in 1402, is a significant early world map that combines East Asian geographical knowledge to depict Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and Africa. Al-Idrisi's 1154 Tabula Rogeriana, commissioned by King Roger II, is a remarkably detailed medieval world map, placing south at the top, reflecting Islamic cartographic traditions. Portolan charts, 13th to 16th centuries, revolutionized Mediterranean navigation with their precise coastal details and practical sailing routes. The Fra Mauro map, a 1450 Italian Renaissance world map, uniquely detailed and oriented, bridged medieval and Renaissance cartographic knowledge. The 1502 Cantino Planisphere, the oldest surviving Portuguese map of the New World, details early explorations and navigational advancements of the era. Around 1900, 2 Maori girls with traditional chin tattoos, mokos, are depicted engaging in an ancient greeting ritual, likely the hongi, where noses are pressed together to share the breath of life. Unsettling vintage Halloween costume from the 1900s. Max Schreck relaxes behind the scenes of the movie Nosferatu, 1922. Actor Balaji with the alien costume, with his dresser John Birkinshaw inside Bray Studios during the filming of movie Alien 1979. Picture of a man with schizophrenia before and after his lobotomy. In 1959, Los Alamos chemist Wright H. Langham utilized Plastic Man to simulate human radiation exposures. Belgian coal miners are depicted returning from a day's work circa 1900. Inside a train in the 1800s, these cars were designed to provide an elegant experience, appealing to Victorian notions of luxury. They often featured ornate decor with upholstered chairs, curtains, and carpeted interiors. Ardbeg 1965, a rare and aged Islay whiskey, boasts intense smoky and peaty flavors developed through decades of maturation. The 1891 Peugeot Type 3, France's first series-produced car with a 2-horsepower engine. Typhoon Jebi's powerful storm surge devastated Osaka, leaving burned cars and causing casualties. The Seine's floodwaters, exceeding normal levels, submerged riverside areas near Notre Dame, necessitating extensive cleanup. In Naypyidaw, Myanmar, volunteers searched for survivors near a damaged building following a 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck central Myanmar. In Mandalay, Myanmar, people inspected debris after a powerful earthquake killed at least 144 and injured 732, with 9 more fatalities in neighboring Thailand from a collapsed building. Ramat Gul's aerial photograph reveals the vastness of the landslide that engulfed Afghanistan's Abi Barak village. Japanese soldiers and firefighters conducted rescue operations at ash-covered mountain lodges after the Mount Ontake volcano erupted, killing over 40 hikers. Lava from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is flowing towards homes in Pahoa, a town of nearly 1,000 residents. Smog blankets buildings on the outskirts of New Delhi, India. A man paddleboarding on Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, during New Year's festivities, which coincided with the start of the city's 450th anniversary celebrations. People fleeing a sudden hailstorm on the beach of the Ob River in Siberia, Russia, on a hot summer day in July 2014. Rime ice covering rocks on Mount Washington's summit in New Hampshire, USA, a phenomenon that occurs when freezing fog encounters stationary objects. The Calbuco volcano erupting, as seen from Fruitalar, leading authorities to order an evacuation of residents within a 6-mile radius. An aerial view of people traveling on a road within the Dangxia National Geological Park in Zhangye, China. A rare moment in Marana, Arizona, photographing a bolt of lightning striking the ground in front of a rainbow. A lenticular cloud, a lens-shaped meteorological phenomenon forming over the volcanic peaks of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. A television transmission tower emerging from a thick cloud of fog atop Tubes Mountain in Pécs, Hungary. Morning sunlight pierces the mist over residential buildings in Lianyungang. Solar-powered lights illuminating the Hernley Ridge of the Matterhorn in Zermatt, Switzerland, including a red light marking the spot of a fatal fall from the first ascent 150 years prior. The Great Pyramids and Sphinx in Giza, Cairo, illuminated in blue to commemorate the United Nations 70th anniversary as part of the Turn the World UN Blue campaign. A volcanic eruption occurred under the Aurora Borealis. Omaha was struck by a severe thunderstorm. A dense plankton bloom has turned the sea green off Thailand's eastern coast, creating a dead zone that threatens mussel farmers' livelihoods. In Moorpark, California, an inmate hand crew battled a mountain fire as strong winds complicated firefighting efforts and heightened fire danger across the state. Firefighters worked to extinguish the Franklin fire. Flames consumed Highway 330. The Soyuz MS-24 spacecraft, carrying NASA astronaut Laurel O'Hara and Roscosmos cosmonauts Oleg Kononenko and Nikolai Chubb, launched from the Cosmodrome towards the International Space Station. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched 3 U.S. astronauts and a Russian cosmonaut from NASA's Kennedy Space Center towards the International Space Station for a 180-day mission involving over 200 scientific experiments. A rider passes through flames during Spain's annual Luminarias celebration on the eve of St. Anthony's Day, the patron saint of animals. Protesters rallied against animal cruelty prior to the San Fermin festival's commencement. Violent protests in Lima against President Boluarte's government, demanding her resignation and Congress closure, led to clashes with riot police and numerous deaths, despite her calls for a national truce. Greenpeace activists protested Shell's North Sea oil and gas field expansion on a platform off the coast of Cherbourg. In Bangkok, Thailand, protesters marched with inflatable yellow ducks outside the 11th Infantry Regiment headquarters. In Istanbul, Turkey, police used pepper spray on a demonstrator during protests that erupted after Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu was jailed for corruption, leading to over 1,100 arrests amidst large anti-government demonstrations. In Gorky Leninsky, Russia, members of the All-Russia National Military Patriotic Social Movement competed in the 7th Military Patriotic Games, UNARMIA Forward, celebrating Russia's Victory Day. During Nicaragua's Toro Venado Festival, a man dressed as the Man of the Mountain participated in the satirical dance, which mocks social and political figures from the Spanish conquest era. Historical reenactors in Battle, England, completing a march from York in preparation for a Battle of Hastings reenactment commemorating its 950th anniversary. Ethnic Miao men in Luzhou, China, smearing dust on a woman's face for good luck during a Lunar New Year celebration. Monkeys enjoying a buffet of fruits, vegetables, and drinks at the Phra Prang Samyad Temple in Lopburi, Thailand, an annual festival aimed at promoting tourism and thanking the monkeys for attracting visitors. Muslims prayed at the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi during Laylat al-Qadr, a holy night of Ramadan. Muslims performed Taraweeh prayers at the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque on the first night of Ramadan. The Penitente Hermandad de Jesus Yacente religious parade marks Easter Holy Week. The Commonwealth Games opening ceremony in Birmingham featured a dramatic, raging bull performance, among other bold spectacles celebrating the city. A devotee dressed as the Hindu goddess Kali performed during the Durga Puja festival in Ajmer, India. During a ritual procession, a boy runs from men dressed as Kankurang, a UNESCO-recognized symbol of order, justice, and protection, despite its frightening appearance. Devotees at Wat Phra Dhammakaya Temple participated in a Makabucha Day ceremony via Zoom, shown on screens as people prayed. Dancers gathered to honor San Andres and seek protection from coronavirus before the Virgin of Guadalupe festivities. People in Bangkok floated krathongs to celebrate the traditional Loy Krathong festival. A woman gathered incense sticks in Quang Phu Khao for the upcoming Lunar New Year. Fireworks illuminated the Lincoln Memorial during 4th of July festivities. Ethiopian pilgrims congregated at the ancient St. George Church in Lalibela for its festival. Boys in costume waved Libyan flags, celebrating the revolution's 8th anniversary in Benghazi. John O'Dwyer, costumed as Darth Vader from the 501st Legion Garrison, Ireland, gazed towards Skellig during Portmedee's 2nd annual May the 4th Star Wars Festival. Will Hyde from Darlington, dressed as Chewbacca, carried a surfboard across the beach on the opening day of the Scarborough Sci-Fi Weekend. Lubki villagers celebrated Christmas with a traditional house-to-house carol ritual involving singing, dancing, feasting, and neighborly gatherings. The Berzeli Bobi welcomed the new year with prickly hugs or pig's bladder punches believed to bring good luck. Horned and masked men prepared to boat across the Danube for a traditional carnival. Easter Bunny costumes were absolutely horrifying in the 1950s. The original design for the Michelin Man was absolutely terrifying. This 1979 iconic image is associated with the American avant-garde musical group, The Residents. They are known for their anonymity and for performing in various costumes, with the eyeball heads, top hats, and tails being their most recognizable and enduring signature. Children in what appear to be handmade, somewhat eerie masks was likely taken in the 1930s or 1940s. The photograph captures Grok, the renowned Swiss clown, composer, and musician, with the image likely taken between the 1920s and 1940s. This image, likely captured between the 1920s and 1940s, features children wearing unsettling, elaborate masks, seemingly crafted from natural materials. Another unsettling Halloween costume from 1910s to 1930s. A Nuwakot farmer wearing traditional rain gear walks through a drought-affected paddy field during Nepal's inadequate monsoon season. In Chanlurfa's Bozova district, a man carried a sheep rescued from mud, one of 67 sheep and a donkey saved by authorities and residents. Polar bear Hamish searches for his red ball in a muddy pond at the Highland Wildlife Park. Alpine sheep traverse the high-altitude Hokyok Pass. A young polar bear feeds on a bowhead whale carcass from a subsistence hunt near Kaktovik. Hope, a 4-year-old female rhino, recovering at Shamwari Game Reserve in South Africa after surviving a severe poaching attack. A Gambian pouched rat in Siem Reap, Cambodia, being trained by the Cambodian Mine Action Center to detect landmines, a pervasive issue after decades of civil war. A massive crocodile responsible for livestock disappearances was captured in Zimbabwe in 2010. 2 snails rested on a frog's head in West Sumatra. A hungry wild polar bear, far from its Arctic habitat, wandered through the outskirts of the Russian industrial city of Norilsk. A chimpanzee at the Gut Aderbickel Sanctuary, home to former lab chimpanzees since 2009, gazed towards a camera. A wild elephant halted a car on a road within Khao Yai National Park. Sheepdogs and their handlers from multiple countries competed in the annual Soldier Hollow Championship in Utah. A frog rests on a lotus leaf in a Lalitpur pond after a rainfall. An owner cuddled their dog in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. Kara Cattle Market, a major West African hub, thrives on Lagos's high meat demand. The King Abdulaziz Camel Festival's marketplace buzzes with cars, people, and camels for sale. Pelicans flew past a boy on a scooter in St. James's Park during the lockdown. The orphaned Dugong, Mariam, rescued in Krabi, gained social media attention and raised awareness for ocean conservation while being cared for on Laibong Island. And that's just a glimpse into the incredible world of rare and real photos. I hope your perception of history and reality has been thoroughly challenged today. If you enjoyed looking at these baffling images, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys into the mysterious. What was your favorite photo from today's video? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep questioning what you see. This is Phil from Rare Real Photos. See you in the next one.